Hello everyone, welcome to Bitcoin Not Crypto. My name is Forrest. This video is going to talk about nation state adoption and how I feel like we are running out of time as retail plebs to stack sats cheaply. I mean, the price, we've had this fantastic run up in Bitcoin, fantastic depending on your perspective. But for me, I look at this and I think, oh, that's great. The value of my stack has grown. But I'm in my prime working years, I'm in my prime earning years, and I'm earning in fiat. And the more I earn in fiat, the less I earn in sats as the price runs up. We need to reverse our feelings towards things because you want to see those green candles on the charts. You want to see the green positive price on your holdings. And when you see the price being red, you see your net worth going down, this is going to feel bad, right? And we need to reverse that. We need to start feeling like, hey, the price going down, that's good. Within reason, of course. We don't want an epic crash. I mean, although if we do, I'm going to be a buyer. But right now we have the situation where we're in a bull run, and the way that Bitcoin acts in a bull run is gradually, then suddenly, and gradually in a way of trading sideways and down. And Bitcoin is almost like Max Payne in the way where if you watch it all the time, you start to see, okay, the price, we need to make it a higher high. If you have any sort of inkling for technical analysis or interest in that, you start to see, okay, we've made this new high and we've gone down. We've retraced to a support level. Okay, we're starting to go up again. There's a little bit of a run up. Oh, it didn't quite get to that same all-time high. It's just below. So we've made a lower high and then it goes down and it's a lower low. You can look back before this price run up when we were in the 55 to 75,000 US dollar range. This was exactly what was happening. There would always be these little fake outs where you'd think, okay, this is it. It's running up again. This is where it breaks out of this channel. It has to, because think of all the catalysts, all the hype. Donald Trump was at the Bitcoin conference and he said, stockpile, right? All this kind of stuff, right? We think that these are big deals, right? What drives the price up is not really all of these things that might happen. It's when things are happening. And the things that need to happen are people buying. And that is happening, but there's also people selling. So that's what creates a market. That's what makes a price, is buyers and sellers. And these rumors, they can entice buyers, but the suddenly happens when something is really happening. So we've been talking a lot in this cycle about nation state adoption. Just even what I just said, the US strategic stockpile, the SBR strategic Bitcoin reserve. These are concepts that are ideas that are not actually happening right now. Trump getting elected has happened. He has not been inaugurated yet. He is not the president of the United States yet. The future is always uncertain. Dude could get hit by a bus. That's just what I always say about key man risk. But he could. We'd have no idea. So we need to see things happen for things to happen. I mean, it sounds dumb the way I'm saying it, but that is true. And we see a lot of the small steps. We see Brazil putting in a bill to create a strategic Bitcoin reserve. We see Russia signing into law that Bitcoin and crypto are property. We see a Chinese court winning a case that Bitcoin is property. We see ETFs. We see MicroStrategy taking future money and putting it into Bitcoin today. We see the nearest city to where I am, the nearest big city to where I am, the mayor has put in a bill to vote on putting some of the city's capital into Bitcoin. We see these things happening, and we can observe that and we can front run it. Right now we have the opportunity, and we've had the opportunity for a long time, to front run big money. If we look at how much is actually the activity that's in the stock market, only about an estimated amount of 5% is what I've heard, is from retail. The rest is big money. It's institutions, it's fund managers, and the likes. And these are slow-moving entities, and they are getting on board. You know, BlackRock creating that ETF has been huge. And in fact, it's the catalyst. That ETF was the catalyst for me to go all in on Bitcoin. Before that, I was in at my comfortability level, which was 50% or so. And I had all these other diversification. And when that announcement happened, I went all in. And people said, oh, you know, this is a buy the rumor, sell the news event. It started to go sideways and down after that happened. And then that was only for a couple weeks. I mean, people, we need to zoom out, and we need to zoom out with our thinking, because we all live very day to day, and especially, you know, if you're looking for places to be able to jump into these assets, you're really looking day to day at the price action. But as soon as you zoom out in the Bitcoin chart, it's just like obvious. So it was going sideways until it wasn't, and then it was rocketing upwards. And we have to think, of course, what is going to be the bear market catalysts? Will there be a bear market? And I think the likelihood of a bear market, or the intensity of the bear market, continues to go down. The percentage of it happening and the intensity of that happening continues to go down as these important catalysts for Bitcoin's global adoption continue to be reached and continue to happen. The ETF put a level of backstop to the level of the bear market, to the intensity of the bear market. MicroStrategy doubling down, tripling down on its strategy to acquire money from the convertible bond market and from the stock market by issuing shares, and putting that directly into Bitcoin, creating buy pressure and taking coins off the exchange. That's backstopping, and that is slowing down the percentage of the amount of the bear market. If another nation state adopts it, you know, the ones that have been, you know, El Salvador, and you know, Bhutan has acquired a lot of Bitcoin by mining. We don't know what their strategy is. At least I don't. Do they plan to hold it long term? Are those coins off the market? I don't know. Who will be next? There has been so many, not even just rumors, but so many events that have happened that are moving in this direction. And each time one of those happens, the intensity of the bear market will go down. Now, will there still be a bear market? Yes, and it will be a correction. And I think the correction will be a lot less. And this is because of the laws of big numbers. This is because the market is shifting constantly. You know, people ask, oh, you know, there's this trope of this time is different. Well, when things are different, things are different, right? The US buying Bitcoin and putting it in a strategic Bitcoin reserve, Brazil doing this, you know, Russia getting back on board, China opening up to Bitcoin again. These are changes. When things change, things change. That's the third time I've said, repeated the same thing, but you got to understand that things happening, it affects the market, and there will be differences. People will still say this is tulip mania, this is a bubble, Well, if you're going to call this a bubble, then the last 2-3 times that this happened, where we went way up in value and price to fiat and way down and then way up again, you know, how many bubbles are we going to have? I think we need to understand and define what a bubble is. And really, these are just massive drawdowns, but the asset itself has still surpassed and gone past the previous bubble amount in fiat. So it really just isn't a traditional bubble that explodes and bursts and ends up being nothing, right? This is an asset that has huge drawdowns because of basically all of the effects of the global world, and how it ties into all of those things. So I think us being the 5% of traders out there, of buyers, of investors, being the small money. I mean, a lot of people call it dumb money and smart money. I think we're the small money. Market caps end up being on the margin. The buys and sells can be pushed up really fast. If everybody is not willing to sell just for a minute, for 10 minutes, an hour, where does that price go if there's buyers? It goes way up until it meets where somebody is willing to sell again. So that is the way market caps are designed. That's the way that prices are reflected in the market. And I think that there will be opportunities where there are huge amounts of new buyers that are fairly price agnostic. The US, I think nation states have and probably will continue to front run the strategic Bitcoin reserve of the US. And the US will be later in the game. They won't be the last, because there'll be lots of people who will just follow the US after they've done this. But the more that do it before and push the price up, the better for anybody that wants the price to go up, because the US will come in with the infinite money printer and buy as much as they want, as much as they've deemed that they want to hold, and they will do it with printing money and issuing debt and basically having the world's biggest money printer at their disposal. And this will push the price of it incredibly high. And all of this sounds very bullish. I mean, you do have to be aware of any bearish stuff, I guess, and you also have to think about your time horizon. For me, Bitcoin is a forever hold. I never plan to sell Bitcoin. I do plan to use Bitcoin at some points, but I don't ever plan to sell it and take profits into this dying, melting ice cube of fiat that will go to zero very quickly as soon as more nation states buy Bitcoin. And Bitcoin is a Trojan horse. It is the destroyer of all of these other fiat systems, and it will do it gradually, then suddenly. So for me, I'm trying to front run this as much as possible. I'm buying the dips. I am holding for the long term. Forever is the best amount of time to hold Bitcoin. I am contributing to Michael Saylor's fight in acquiring future dollars and putting them into the present and buying Bitcoin with it. And I'm doing that by buying shares of MicroStrategy within my registered accounts where it makes sense. And I am helping him facilitate the acquisition of more Bitcoin and putting that into that treasury they have that they never plan to sell. So I'm doing my part, and I'm doing it mostly through Bitcoin Well, which is a sponsor of this show. And you can use the link in the description to get yourself some free Bitcoin through Bitcoin Well. And it's an affiliate link, so I get a small little kickback. And Bitcoin Well is a really cool platform because they never hold your Bitcoin for you. They send it directly to your wallet, and that takes it out of circulation. So that's actually putting less coins on the market and will help that price go up, just even that small incremental amount that you are participating in taking those off the exchange. They have non-KYC options. They have the lowest spreads in Canada. They're available in the Canada and the US. And they're just a great platform. It's user-friendly. They're traded publicly. They're very safe. I've had absolutely no issues with them. They work great. So check out that link in the description if a Bitcoin purchase is in your future. Now, thanks everyone. I'll be making more videos on Bitcoin, on MicroStrategy and all that, and we'll see you on the next one.